Hey y'all, Eatmopie, and this is a new scenario. It is the Crypt of the Forgotten Kings, and it's probably a little undertuned right now. This is the first time I did it, and these scenarios are pretty neat. You know, they're just like three-man group quests that are instanced, and you will get decent loot at the end, as far as I understand. You know, like heroic level type loot, or um, you'll get your valor points. So we just kind of blow through this. I am on my Windwalker, and we have a druid and a really undergeared death knight in the group. So you can see how the DPS works out. So you start out by killing these seething Shaw, and they're pretty easy. They're all just like normal mobs. You don't need a tank and a healer and things in these. Although having a healer does help a little bit. This druid is healing for us. And yeah, it makes it a little bit easier, but you really don't need it. Now there's a few bosses that are in here. And in all scenarios, there's just a couple bosses, you know, like a mini boss and then one major boss. Or two mini bosses and a major boss. So this is the first one, Jin Iron Fist, and we have to end the terror by slaying him. He only has, you know, 4 million health, so this is pretty easy. Especially compared to the heroic mode 10-mans that we tried today. The guild I'm in attempted the very last boss, Mogushan Vaults, and he is very difficult. I don't know if any guilds got him down, but we didn't even get close. Oh, there's a trap. I got an achievement. Don't stand in the trap. Anyway. So, hard modes are hard. Go figure. I don't know if they're overtuned or, you know, they had our gear set at specific item levels, so that might have had something to do with it. We'll see. Who knows? But it's a fun fight, the beginning of it anyway. I'm going to put a little video of that up maybe later today. But mostly it's just us wiping over and over again until we give up. Which is pretty much what progression is all about, right? Alright, moving on to stage 3. You saw the progress bar. All we had to do was kill those little baby Shaw. And this just became available, so I believe this just became available. Nobody knows what they're doing and where they're going. But there's new stuff to kill, so let's go that way. And hit the trap again. Duh. So I know I'm not perfect on my rotation, but Monk DPS is looking pretty good right now. In the raid today, and I haven't raided on the Windwalker at all until today, and I was pretty consistently pulling, you know, top DPS or top 2 DPS next to, the closest was a Warlock, and Warlocks are pretty godly right now. But yeah, so Windwalker DPS is looking pretty good. Now there was a couple other Windwalkers, or at least one other Windwalker in the raid, and he wasn't pulling quite as high. I don't know if he was trying something different or had different gear on. I didn't. It was just it was a guild group, but it was just kind of thrown together. It wasn't, you know, I've never played with them before, except for maybe one or two of them. And so yeah, it's kind of what you get when you, even though it was a guild group, it was still kind of a pug. So, That's probably the 40th time I've said so. So, more trash. Watch out for the traps in here. One thing I don't think I've talked about in any of my videos recently, although I've meant to, is the changes they made to the monk in this most recent patch. First of all, they broke Touch of Karma. It doesn't work at all anymore, which makes monk PvP kind of blow. That's one of those utility spells that they almost rely on as a Windwalker. I mean, you kind of need it because there's so much burst, and that's a defensive cooldown. So some of the other things that they did was they nerfed energy regen slightly. It hasn't really affected your DPS, but it's definitely made the rotation not feel as smooth because you do energy starve sometimes. And the other thing that they did was they added chi degeneration. And what that is unlike before where you could build up chi and it would stay there infinitely. Now you build up chi and it degenerates very quickly sometimes when you're out of combat. So, you know, you can, if you hit your Expel Harm and then plan to use a Zen Sphere to heal yourself, sometimes you can't because you degenerate that chi, one of the chi of the two that you build, so quickly that, you know, you're screwed. And that's probably a bug, and it's not meant to be that way. But it is that way right now, and, well, it kind of blows. What can you do? It's beta. Beta is beta. So this is the last room, the last stage, and you gotta kill these Shaw. As you saw, I was kind of backpedaling. I was afraid there's a little black circle of goo that you don't want to stand in, but it doesn't really hurt you that bad, so it doesn't really matter. These scenarios are fairly easy. You know, you can compare them to like a group quest of the old days, but not a very hard group quest. Anyway, but they're kind of fun, and you know, they're definitely, from what I understand, they're going to be worth doing. So like I said, my rotation's not perfect. You see I let my Tiger Palm debuff fall off there. That's bad. Try not to do that, but you know, it's not really a big deal if it does happen. Just try and get it back up. But, yeah, anyway, here we are at the last boss. And he doesn't really do anything. Like I said, they just put this in, so I don't know if this is undertuned or what. But this is my first time in here. So I was kind of hoping that his army would tank, but that didn't work out very well. But it's fairly easy. I can tank as a Windwalker. I'm a beast. And you see there's a... this is an easy fight. There's really no mechanics to it. He spits something out, but that didn't really matter. He dropped a cache of powerful armor. I have no idea what it is because I don't win. I don't even know if you can open it. A lot of the little prizes like that you get, like I killed a rare the other day, and he dropped a little sack of goodies, and I can't even open it. So one of those things that you live with. It's beta. So that's it. Temple of the Forgotten Kings. We just killed the Abomination of Anger, and yeah. Thank you for the group. Like you had anything to do with, you know, making the group. Thank you for clicking the button and joining the group. But anyway, here's the DPS breakdown. My overall 63,000. That's not too shabby. That poor Death Knight was only at 31k. And the final boss fight, I was at 100,000 DPS. And you can see Zen Sphere is way at the top. Zen Sphere is beastie. It is always within the top 4 as long as I remember to use it of my overall DPS. So, yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching. This is Eatmopie, and I'll see ya.